The Bible says the earth is full of the goodness of God.
So, why doesn't it look so for a whole lot of people? There are nations that are poor. There are cities that are poor. There are families that are poor.
A growing number of middle-class Americans are falling into poverty.
Close to 18 million Kenyans live in extreme poverty.
A new report has been released updating the situation in Canada. As the CBC's Joanna Remiliotis reports, not only are children still going to bed hungry, but their numbers are even higher than before.
Millions of Afghan nationals have been pushed into extreme poverty and hunger.
Poverty is frustrating. It seems as if you're fighting against a tide, and the tide is always running against you.
I don't know what is luxury anymore. Everything is luxury when I have food in my house.
So why is it so? I'll tell you why. It's something that most of the world ignores. Why are many nations poor?
This question has been at the center of economics right from the beginning. Adam Smith's famous work, which many people, although not everyone, regard as the first proper economics book, The Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nations. Gaps between countries have always existed, but as late as 1700, when European countries started colonizing parts of the world, subjugating weaker nations and appropriating wealth from there.
For years, I studied why nations can be rich and how. And why nations would be poor and how. In the last few years, we've had the United Nations come out singing about they have these goals, Millennium Goals they started with, and then they have all these wonderful programs for the elevation of poverty around the world.
A momentous weekend for the Sustainable Development Goals.
It is so decided.
With the UN's official adoption on Friday of 17 goals for ending extreme poverty, fighting inequality, and tackling climate change by 2030, world leaders signaled their commitment to a bold new global agenda.
How sincere are all these organizations? Some of them are government organizations, private organizations. All of these who come out and say they want to fight poverty. They've been trying to fight poverty so long.
This war on poverty is the longest battle we have faced as a nation. Over 50 years ago, we began a new march against poverty. New leaders, new ways to fight this battle.
Let us affirm today in this Parliament that as a nation, by the beginning of the 21st century, only 11 years away, poverty in this great Canada will be a relic of the past. Thank you very much.
That day, a historic resolution was made across party lines. But sadly, 25 years later, the problem still exists.
The Bible tells us the truth, that this earth is full of the goodness of God. Why are the people not seeing it? I'll tell you. Because of the works of wicked and evil men. That's why. They manipulate your country currency. They manipulate it. So they destroy the value of your currency.
Currency manipulation is defined as a monetary policy operation which occurs when a government or central bank buys or sells foreign currency in exchange for their own domestic currency. One example of currency manipulation is what a country might do when it wants to minimize the effects of having a strong currency.
Let's say, for example, that $1 US is equal to $10 in the Republic of Monopoly. And with 10 Monopoly dollars, I can buy 1 cup of coffee from the United States.
Now, imagine that gradually, inside the Republic of Monopoly, the economy starts doing very well and is extremely stable. The currency naturally could rise against all other currencies.
So now that 1 US dollar only earns you 8 Monopoly dollars instead of 10. For me to buy that same cup of coffee from the United States, I only need to pay 8 Monopoly dollars. So it's cheaper for me.
So this currency has become more valuable. My citizens have more spending power when they travel abroad, and as a country we have more buying power when I want to import goods. So what's the problem? Why manipulate? One word: exports.
Say I want to sell muffins to the US. Instead of the US paying